Hey guys, my name is Amit. Welcome to the second episode of Football Ninja. With me again is Karthik, and Karthik will tell you what are we gonna discuss today.
So let's look at the table again, Amit. So what are your thoughts, Amit, after today's game? Let's talk about the Manchester City and Brighton game that just finished.
I think Karthik, it was just one-way game. Manchester City just took it. It was second time they are winning with a final margin.
Yeah.
And Sterling again scored a hat trick, which the last goal, the hat trick goal,
Yeah, I was just going
very
to come to
interesting.
that. Yeah. I think that would be one of the most iconic
Hat trick goals.
Yep.
Yes, correct.
Exactly.
But I don't think so there's much to talk about that game because just the scoreline was 5-0, and I don't think so. Manchester City played like how they're supposed to play, attacking football, and Brighton didn't do that good at attacking. And yeah, so
The only thing I felt was there was just one guy up top, and he cannot do much, right?
Correct,
I mean,
yeah.
even though City's defense, we know it's been leaky this year, but
again,
one guy, it's difficult.
I was expecting. See, you are facing City, so you can't be pragmatic about it. Like you have to attack, right? And which I didn't see anything coming from Brighton, and as soon as one goal was in, you just knew they were in the flow and they'll score as many as possible. And they've also missed like 2-3 easy chances as well. Just don't forget that. I think the scoreline would have been easily 7-0. Yeah,
They hit the post, I think, twice. City.
Mahrez missed at least 2 chances, 2 easy chances. So there's nothing much to talk about actually. And see, anyways, they have secured the second position after Chelsea. After Chelsea.
Premier League.
So it was a very easy game to go. It didn't really have that much effect on the table also, if you see, because both the teams are actually secure for the next season.
Okay, so let's talk about Chelsea versus Sheffield United.
Tell me about it. Huh?
I mean, it's the same story, right? And everybody's been talking about it, about the defense.
Yeah,
that's where the problem is, right? I mean, today even attack was pathetic. They didn't do much. Tammy Abraham struggled. He hardly had, I think, till about in the first half, he hardly had 10 touches of the ball, which was less than anybody on the field.
But do you regret now extending his contract in Chelsea?
I wouldn't say that, because Giroud, although he's gonna be there for the next year, Chelsea has decided to use the option to extend his contract for a year. But then he's gonna leave, right? He's 32. He's gonna leave the season after that. So Chelsea do need a backup striker for sure.
Correct.
And Tammy isn't a bad striker, right? He's got 15 goals this season, first season in the Premier League, which is a pretty good return, I think. So he's not doing a bad job. Yes, he does struggle in games where you need a holding striker, right? Tammy is not a holding striker a lot, so I think that's where he struggled today. And then let's not. And it's not just that, right? Sheffield's defense was amazing.
Yeah,
they did not give them any room.
I think not just this game, like the entire season.
Yeah.
Right. You can see how amazing their passing is, how amazing their defense is, and also I think a lot of weakness of Chelsea was exposed in the defense sector today, where Zuma had no idea what to do. There was no communication between James and Willian, in that goal and they conceded. So there was a lot of things that you could see, and also as we heard a lot of people saying, Zuma is not a first team player. I don't know the quality of him. I think you guys really need a centre back.
Yeah. I mean, I know people are divided on that opinion. Some people think Zuma is a really good defender. For example, Jose Mourinho.
Oh yeah.
Right. But then I don't feel he's ready. I would say ready, but I don't think he will be able to play in a team like Chelsea. I don't think there are much better defenders that are there who would probably do a better job. Christensen is good, but it's just that his consistency is not.
Yeah, so that's again what Zuma is also going through, right? I think he had an amazing tackle in the last game that Chelsea played.
Exactly.
Which if you see that, and if he can replicate that consistency throughout, then I don't think so somebody's going to be as good as him.
It's just a one-off, right? And then you look at his passes. His passes are not too great. Most of the times he overhits his passes. And then on the other hand, we have Rudiger, who was a permanent starter. And then after the game with West Ham, he was dropped because of the bad defense. And then he comes in today again after the first half, and then he gives away a very cheap goal. That's bad defending. That's just bad defending.
But also, post this game, there's a huge change in the table as well. So if now Leicester and Manu, as you guys can see, they have a game in hand, and if both of them win their games, and then that means Chelsea will be out of top four first time post August, right?
Yeah,
So
I think so. Yeah.
so that's gonna happen, and I think that would also put Lampard in a lot of pressure. I don't think so. He's faced this kind of pressure before in this season because he's been in top four pretty good, even if you're doing bad. But then he has that, and also end of the day, he doesn't have the team. If you see right now, that's why they're buying a lot of people. And if you see financially as well, if Chelsea doesn't qualify for Champions League, it's going to be difficult for them because financially also, as you have seen the financial things that have come out in the last year December, where Chelsea is in a lot of hot soup if they don't qualify for Champions League. So a lot of broadcasting money will go out, a lot of shit will happen. So let's see what happens. Let's see how Leicester and United will actually play. But I think it was a really good game if you consider Sheffield United's position wise, and pretty good game. Nice attacking.
Probably I would say their best game of the season.
Yeah, correct.
Maybe, but yeah, one of the best games definitely of the season, and that sort of also puts them in a Europa League position right now. Wolves, I mean, although there are just 3 games left, mathematically they still have a chance to qualify for Champions League, which they might. I mean, if they
Yeah.
have to treat them.
Oh, that's gonna be an amazing story. Talking about Sheffield United now, and as you can see, it's gonna impact the top 5 now. They have a very good chance to, yeah, as Karthik said, mathematically, try for a Champions League, and then that is only possible if also that's possible when if City doesn't get through, right? If the verdict is against them, then probably there's a very good chance of Manchester United bottling up their last 3 games or 4 games, and if Leicester does the same thing, so Sheffield United can go in and win or get qualified for Champions League.
Yeah, they probably can. So let's look at the bottom half of the table, right? And let's start with the game that happened, the first game of the day, which was Norwich
And West Ham
versus West Ham, right? And it's just a sad story. I mean, they are the first team to get relegated. I think they started really well.
Yes, correct.
And
I had high hopes from them. I had really high hopes.
Yeah, they were playing really good, and I think just the end of the season was sort of bad for them. They just had 2 wins out of the last 21 games. And I mean, if they want to play at this level, at the Premier League level, one of the toughest leagues in the world, or the toughest league, not one of the toughest leagues, they have to perform consistently. And I think they were just probably not, I wouldn't say good enough, but I think they were probably not ready for this challenge.
Yeah. So when the season started, and I definitely knew that the way Aston Villa was changing their strikers or goalkeepers and putting money here and there, and then you saw Norwich playing really well. So I had high hopes of Norwich, but then as you said, so things, it's a long season. So consistency is something that either comes, like you can win a game by luck or you can win a game by somebody just clicking on that day, but then clicking the entire season is what makes you either at least compete for the next year's Premier League. But then unfortunately they became the first team after they got belted 4-0 by West Ham.
4 goals by Antonio. He's having a really good time, I think, after the break. 6 goals in the last 4 games.
But even for West Ham, it's a really good result.
Yeah, right? I mean, let's just look at it from the other angle. Now they are mostly safe. I think they are safe. They are 6 points away from the relegation zone, although Bournemouth and Aston Villa do have a game in hand. They both have tough games, right? So Aston Villa is playing Crystal Palace, who would definitely want to move up slightly higher on the table. They have a chance to go beyond Newcastle if they win. And then Aston Villa, of course, they have been struggling, especially after the break. They have been struggling really, really bad. Bournemouth again, I expected more from them, honestly. They have been, I think this is their 6th season in the Premier League. And they have consistently done decently, finishing.
Yeah, correct. So Eddie Howe's team has done really well. How he has managed the team since the time they got qualified for Premier League and then they have been consistently, I think, top of like the second half of the table, or at least in the 10th or 8th. But then now I think he's for the first time under this pressure anyhow of relegation.
Probably,
Yeah. And then like it let's see, like, see, I think they mathematically they have a good chance though, right? But then that's it. Just mathematically. So you see the team, and they have a game against Leicester, which is attacking. Bournemouth has bad defense. So if you give me if I have a pick in this game, Leicester against Bournemouth, I'll go with Leicester.
But I think that would be the most interesting game right now. Both the teams want the win. Leicester want to be in the top four.
Correct.
They want to go up. Bournemouth wants to avoid the relegation, which is even more. I mean, that should give them the
Drive.
the drive
Yeah,
to go
correct.
and win the game. So I think that would be the most interesting game for tomorrow. But let's see. So let's see what other interesting games we had, and we have some of them listed. The next two games for the teams that are fighting for the top four,
Yeah. Okay.
or
No,
for the Champions League spots.
Correct. So I think so. Let's start with Manchester United, right? So I think Southampton is home so they're playing at home. So that would be an easy game, I feel. I have an issue with the Crystal Palace game, where it's away game, and
It's tough to beat them.
yes, correct. It's tough to beat them, and also like the way they played against Chelsea, where it was a very close finish for Chelsea as well. So let's see. What are your views on this?
But I think you should do well at Crystal Palace again. The game with Chelsea, the struggle was again with the defense, right?
That was
and
Chelsea's problem again.
Yeah. So and Crystal Palace did play well. Zaha played really well. So I don't think that should be a problem. Southampton again would be a really good game. It's not going to be an easy game.
But somehow, like the confidence that Manu is showing right now,
Yeah.
with the strikers they have, and see, if you see last game, Aston Villa's game, they got a penalty, which was a VAR. Obviously, it was not a penalty, but till that time, Aston was playing really good. They're playing really good. And as a Manu fan, I know we were not playing. We were not in the groups because they were actually pushing us. They were pressing us, and we could not find. Bruno could not find a good pass, or Greenwich could not find an opening to run. Everything started to go down once we got the penalty. So once we got a starting goal, that's when things went good. So if that initial jitter is taken care of by Manchester United, then I don't. And also, see, end of the day we won, right? So that gives a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
So
And then on the other hand, Southampton is coming up after a victory at City.
correct. Yeah.
They are also high. They are also running high. So I think that's gonna be a tough game. And the manager, Hussein Huddle, he's not an easy guy to break. He'll come up with certain things, but you never know. I mean, everybody has a day. But let's see.
So I still bet on Man U for both the games. So I know it's a bit difficult, but at the end of the day, Man U would end up winning it because I think good people are in good form. Everybody wants to score. Martial is very pissed that he got substituted in the last game, so probably he wants to prove a point now. And there's a very good competition happening between Rashford and Martial.
Yeah.
कि मैं ज़्यादा मारेगा कि तू ज़्यादा मारेगा. So in that process, I feel that there's a good competition happening, and also I feel that see, we hear rumors, so do they, and they know if Sancho comes in, then there's a seat waiting for you outside. So let's see how it happens, and who scores more goals. Like either it's Rashford or it's Martial. Probably these two games, and then there are other games coming up which will be difficult for Man U. Probably the last game with Leicester will be difficult. But these two games, I still feel that. See, to be very frank, I feel Man U will win all the games. Should easily win all the games, but let's see how it goes. I don't want to jinx anything here. So let's see Leicester. You have to add anything on the Man U side?
No, I think we are good there. I'm just waiting for the game tomorrow. And then have my views. But yeah.
So I think Man U is playing on Monday. Tomorrow
Monday,
Leicester plays
yeah.
1-1. So
Leicester is playing Bournemouth tomorrow, which is like we already spoke about. It's not going to be an easy game. They Bournemouth desperately need a win to avoid the relegation or just move closer to Watford and West Ham. And then Leicester definitely needs the win to be in the top four, right?
To be in that competition of being in top four.
So I feel they both the teams are gonna play very carefully. They have that consistency. They have to get their passes right. They have to get their crosses right. Everything right. The defense right. I think it's gonna be a very interesting game. And
I think also Bournemouth would come with a lot of confidence. Bournemouth last which game?
I think
They drew with Spurs, right? So I think Bournemouth will come in with a lot of confidence because they drew with Spurs last time, and it just not any draw. They Spurs had 0 shot on target, so that shows how good defense they have. So on the other side is probably the best attacking striker the league has. So it'll be a good competition between both the defense and the attack.
But let's see. And then Sheffield United, which we already saw what they are capable of today. So that's also going to be a tough game.
But the difficult part there would be Leicester has the home advantage. Home advantage. So see, today they won against Chelsea. It was home advantage. So there's no audience. I understand. There's nobody watching. But then there is a feel of home, which players obviously understand. Which you can see Sheffield United playing really well today because I feel that.
But they have even played good away from home, right? They have the league. I think they are the second. They are at second on the number of goals conceded. They are number 2 after Liverpool. So I think they are doing a really good job. So that's going to be tough. Even the other 2 games are tough for Leicester. I mean, they're playing United in the last game, and then they are playing Arsenal. They're playing Tottenham in the game before that, right? So that's going to be it's a tough run for them.
So it'll be difficult for them to stay, and as you know, Chelsea lost, so Chelsea would definitely want Leicester to lose to
and United lose to, right? So Chelsea, they have 3 games in hand. Norwich should be an easy game. It was not an easy game when we played with them last. I think we drew with them 2-2. And
but don't you think now Norwich has nothing to lose?
But they would still want. They have nothing to lose, exactly, right?
So they'll be like, "I'm मर रहा तेरे को लेके मरेगा."
Exactly.
अब तो मैं जा रहा हूँ.
It's not going to be an easy game, definitely. And then Liverpool, of course, going to be a very tough game.
That's. I think you guys losing today has put so much pressure on because the coming fixtures are difficult, and if you would have calculated as a Chelsea fan that there are 4 games left, so let me do my maths. So today's game would have been easy 3 points for you guys.
I mean, not an easy 3 points, but I was hoping at least.
So see, you knew you'll lose 1 game. In the upcoming games, you lose at least 1. And today's game was not that one.
Today's game was definitely not right. I mean, I was hoping, Liverpool, it's going to be really tough.
But I think Liverpool is easy. Do you see what is happening with Liverpool? See, even today's game would happen.
I mean, the problem with Liverpool is, the problem is because if smaller teams play with Liverpool, right, they sort of make sure to just defend. That's all they do, right? And then they just hit on the counter whenever they get a chance, one chance, right? And playing Chelsea is not going to do that. They're not going to just sit behind and then.
No, but you guys have advantage, right? You guys have Liverpool's home advantage. Flemina has scored 0 goals in this season. So you guys have Liverpool's
and I think they should also consider the favor that, or we made them win the league after beating City. So
Chelsea does that to all the winners.
Yeah. So maybe they should return the favor, right? But let's see. The last game for them, so they just have 3 games. The last game is with Wolves. It's going to be a tough one.
But then Wolves again, post-pandemic, have not been that great team. I think it just feels like they've run out of the juice. Pandemic ke baad, it just feels like that. I don't know why. Because they are not able to replicate that form or the confidence that they had. The team, like how they were before pandemic. Now you don't see that. You don't see that zeal in the team. I don't know. Something is missing in the team now. But let's see how. The problem is any team is bad till they play Chelsea, right?
Yeah.
And then you realize how good that team is.
I mean, I don't think Chelsea has played bad with any of the top four or
Yeah,
top
correct.
six
Yeah.
teams. They haven't, except for the first game with United 4-0. Apart from that, I think other games have gone really well. So it's let's see how that turns out.
So let's check
Let's
the.
turn our attention towards the transfers, right? So we are gonna sort of follow up with what we spoke about in the first episode,
Mhm.
and uh, and then what are the new rumors that have come out. So let's talk about them, right? So
Transfer rumors.
Sancho, he's still listening. He's still waiting to hear from United, right? I mean, I see these rumors every day. He's agreed personal terms. United is
Yeah,
not
correct.
the is,
So the
and then United
no,
is not ready to
so
give more than 50.
so the latest what I've heard. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm cutting you. So the latest, and it's very irritating also, right? So the latest what I've heard here is that so Dortmund might hold him for a few more time to make Manu pay 20 million more for him. So I see he's a really good player.
Yeah.
There's no second thought about it. But what like the price that they'll pay on so if you see Manu's history as well, right? So Pogba was the still I think is the most expensive player that we bought, and looking at what is happening with him now, so probably he's turning good now after almost 3-4 years of him coming in, right? So I don't think the Manu would want to go spend a lot of money, but that is what is happening in the Manu building, right? So that's the management. But then what are fans saying? Fans are dying to get new, fresh legs on the field. Somebody like Sancho and Woodward is already under a lot of pressure from fans. So probably I feel this would happen, and the faster it happens, it's better for the player as well. Better for the clubs as well. So it's a good win-win situation for everybody. I think the player personally, when you hear he's agreed, he has agreed.
I mean, these are I mean, any player you talk about, right? And then there are rumors about him, and then the next day you will just see that he's agreed personal terms, and so
The best example of that was Delph. When Delph was in Aston Villa, I think, and then he said, "I will always be in Aston Villa," and next day he signs a contract with City.
yeah.
So something like that happens all the time. But then, he's still a youngster. Right? So as we spoke in the last time as well, in the last podcast also. So let's see how well. I think this should happen fast. It should not get delayed because this will get delayed. I don't think so. Then even if he moves, he won't come to Man U then.
Yeah.
So not every player is Bruno Fernandes. Would wait almost half a year to come in January. So let's see.
And then I also read that Real Madrid is circling around, and I think they can. I mean, they might want a new right wing. I mean, we just saw Bale yesterday sleeping on the bench, right?
Oh, yeah.
He's on the substitute bench, he's sleeping. And I think in the last 3 minutes, he was just seen laughing, and that was his highlights of the day.
Yeah, and was trending on Twitter.
Yeah.
Just because of that.
So, I mean, they definitely want to replace him, right? And then they are circling, but I don't think they have the money to spend right now. But Real Madrid being Real Madrid, they will just go ahead and just sign him if they can. And I know. I mean, probably Sancho would prefer a move to England, but I mean, if this doesn't happen, and if he gets to move to Real Madrid, I don't think he's gonna refuse that offer.
Yeah, I think that's and on top of that, Real is going to win this year's La Liga.
Yeah.
So he would definitely enter a team which has won a cup, so
Exactly.
potentially winning.
And do you think, does it also depend? I mean, I think it would also depend on Man U finishing top four or qualifying for the Champions League, right? If they don't, then that sort of puts a dent on the transfer as well.
So it's so as we read today as well, if Man U finishes top four, the hike on the player's salary goes up.
Yeah,
right.
It's 25%.
Yeah. So once that happens, where do they have money to buy in?
Exactly. And they are already at the very high wage.
Yeah, they're one of the highest wage.
And then, I mean, they would have to let go of a good number of people to sort of lower that down, get some money for Sancho, and then. But I think there are quite a few players, right? So there's Alexis Sanchez. I don't know if he's going to move.
There's no confirmation on that yet. But
again, because of his wages is the problem, right? United was paying him very high wages. Inter is not ready to pay, so either he takes a pay cut or he just stays in United till his contract gets over. Right?
And goes as free. So
yeah, and then I think Smalling goes out, and then I don't know, Phil Jones, is he still in the club? I don't know.
Nobody knows. Ask Phil Jones, even he doesn't know. Lingard. So there are
Lingard.
See, the problem with players like Phil Jones and Lingard, see, no disrespect, they're professional players, but then you can, I don't know who wants to buy them. Like, either, see, we are seeing rumors of West Ham looking for these two players, but then I think if somebody approaches Manu, they should not refuse it. Because they should, so they need money right now, you see, right? So, and to have this kid would minimum cost us like 100 million. This is what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah.
That is, and the problem is that's such a common norm now, 100 million.
Yeah.
So that is an expensive amount. Oh, that's very expensive, right? So
Yeah.
let's see what happens. I hope we filter out a lot of players which we don't want, or who we are not seeing being a part of Man U. See, I think Lingard can't come to the playing 11 if Pogba and Bruno are playing ever.
Yeah.
Right. If one of them is injured, I think then McTominay will come, or Fred would come. Then if one of them gets injured, then probably he will come. So I think for his benefit, so I don't think so. He should waste his career too. He should probably go to a team where he gets playing 11 chance, much more often, or putting him on loan also. I don't know. I just don't see any ROI on Lingard.
But I have another question, right? So just say Sancho doesn't move this summer, right? Who do you play in the front three, right? If you don't have say one of the players gets injured, right? Say Greenwood is injured, for example. Who plays up front? Who is there? Lingard is probably the only player left who can probably also play as a winger. I know he's more of a central attacking midfielder.
James plays both the
James
side, right?
is there, but then again, primarily he plays on the right again, right, and then right or
No, initially when he came to Man
plays
U,
on the left. He primarily plays on the left, right, and then Rashford also plays on the left. Primarily, that's his preferred position, right, left middle.
I feel that's the problem, right? So I see, though if you see Man U squad right now is really good, but it's just those 11 people.
Yeah.
That's it. Though there are people who can come in, and there is Matic if he's
I think
out.
your midfield is sort of sorted.
Yeah, correct.
Right, your defensive midfield or attacking midfield is sort of sorted. Defense is good. I think probably you can do away with Lindelof. Probably get a better defender if you can, but he's not doing bad.
He's not
Maguire
doing bad,
sort of
correct.
covers good amount. And then
But we don't have pace at defense. If you see, like we need pace.
You have Van Bissaka. You have
Correct. So I like we need somebody who has pace in like supporting Maguire. So we need that. So we don't have that right now, and I don't see that happening in Lindelof. If he might, he's a good defender but doesn't have pace. So does Maguire. Maguire doesn't have pace. So we need a guy. So if somebody counterattacks, you see when any team counterattacks Man U, then
it's probably just Van Bissaka who can cover.
And if he's not there, then what happens? Then nobody can even touch that person. So that has happened in the past, and that's how we have lost few games too. So if I can notice it, so obviously the management will.
But does Woodward notice it? That's a question.
That's a question to the universe. Does Woodward notices it?
I mean, I think he's doing he's sort of fucking the club at so many levels.
No, but then
right?
the thing is, he's just the face of it, right? He's just like there is a lot.
The CEO is always the face, right? He gets fucked. Whatever is going wrong, he's responsible for it end of the day, right? So
first of all, I'm not here to defend him.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I'm just
saying.
saying. We're just talking, right? So I think he should be answerable, which he's not. I mean, he's made so many bad decisions. But okay, let's see. Let's move on to our next one, which is Kai Havertz.
So many links here.
So
Chelsea
many
wants
links
him.
here.
Real wants him. Even he's here. Like he wants to hear somebody say his name.
And he's already told Leverkusen that he wants to leave. Right. So I just read the other day that Chelsea sort of are willing to, offlay 6 people to buy him. So that includes people like Bakayoko, Drinkwater, Batshuayi. Sort of a good 6 people to sort of.
You mean 6 bad decisions?
six bad decisions, yes, making them good.
Fine.
Right. So I mean, if he can do that, if he comes in, then our attack goes really well. But then again,
See that's the issue, right? So I think every player that came to any club, like especially Premier League is a different class altogether. When people come from Bundesliga, people from La Liga, so the proving ground becomes when they play.
right,
Like see, we have seen amazing highlights of his game, but then the problem that is, can he replicate that in?
exactly,
That's the risk, right?
yeah,
So that's the risk. So that's the risk that everybody takes.
yeah,
And like you can't buy a player from say Bundesliga and expect him to do exactly same
yeah.
in Premier League because it's a stronger league.
I mean, I think that's the same question for him and Sancho, right? They
Correct.
are in the
Correct.
same position, same age. I mean, I don't know if they can replicate that. Probably Sancho has some experience at
Yeah,
least
because
being in City and
Yeah.
United, but then he's not played. He's not played in the first team, so he doesn't have that experience. But I mean, I don't know if he comes in. I think that sort of solves a lot of problems in midfield because, for example, right now Mount is sort of playing in midfield, running back, going forward, right? So he's not playing in his usual position. He sort of likes to play a little more
so he
attacking.
replaces Mount then.
He doesn't replace Mount, but then Mount is freed up to play in his preferred position. Right?
If he comes in, so he comes directly to playing 11.
He would. I mean, if he's ready for that, I think he would definitely come into the
No,
playing
I
11.
don't
Otherwise,
think so.
I
He
don't.
would be ready, but would Lampard be ready?
I think he would be. Otherwise, I don't think he's gonna come in, right? Because he's playing game in, game out. I don't think he's just gonna come in just to sit on the bench, right? Everybody is not Mahrez or everybody is not Mahrez.
Bernardo Silva.
Right? They're okay to sit on the bench, and we spoke about this last time as well. But I think if he comes in, he plays. I mean, unless he has a bad patch or things like that. And Lampard is. One good thing about Lampard is he doesn't shy away from making hard decisions.
Correct, yeah.
Like
We have
sitting
seen that,
Rudiger, the most experienced defender, or sitting Pulisic, who cost them so much money, and then he's come back, proved himself. So I mean, he's ready to do that. So he'll have to. I mean, if he's in the playing 11, he has to play well. Otherwise, he's dropped. Right. So let's see. Let's move ahead. Thiago, amazing player again. Maybe on
I think he would fit in really well in Liverpool, right? He can just replace Anderson, the weakest link.
Yeah, I mean there's Henderson, but I think Henderson is still gonna stay. He's still the captain. I think more so he's gonna sort of replace Wijnaldum or Naby Keita, who did not do a really well job as he was expected to. So he'll probably come in there, and then once he comes in, if he comes in.
But I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's
Like, that's what I think.
difficult. I think he's keen on a move, but then Liverpool are sort of skeptical if he's gonna be there.
They can just buy Coutinho back now.
I mean, I don't think they need Coutinho anymore, right? They need a player like Thiago, right? So he can pass the ball really well. He can break defenses, and if they can get him, then Liverpool is.
So then Liverpool becomes a difficult team.
It's a very difficult team, right? So let's see. Maybe it will happen. It will not happen. I don't think it will happen, but
Yeah, me too. Yeah, same. I don't think so.
then the most difficult one. What do you think? I mean, my first question is.
I'll start from Leicester actually.
Yeah, why does he want to leave Leicester?
Correct.
Why would he want to leave
Exactly.
Leicester? They are right now
Playing really well.
They are doing really well.
And they are a rich club. They are not a poor club. They are a rich club, and I don't think so. See, I think there are two options from Leicester to go. One is him, and the other one is James Maddison. Correct. So first thing, and James Maddison is linked to Man U, right?
For the past two seasons.
Yeah. So that's one story, and I'm gonna come back to sometime. I don't think so. Foxes will let go two players.
Yeah.
They don't need money. They have amazing money. They are a rich club.
Yeah.
So either they let go of him or James Maddison. Now, and probably right now is a good chance for Chelsea and Man U to bid for him because there's just one player they're gonna leave. They're gonna let go of Foxes. So that will be him, right? James Maddison. So either him or it is Grealish for Man U. Both the players are not good players if you compare that transfer that happened, right? So Grealish. Where would he fit in? No idea. And Maddison, are they better than Pogba or Bruno? They are not. So will they? And they won't come to sit on the bench.
Yeah.
they would come to play, and they know they won't get to chance to play. But Austin has to be looking at their games coming up. They're definitely gonna get relegated, and what happens then? So it's a very complicated thing. But I feel him leaving. See, if I think he would leave because they need money, but then I think it was just one transfer they let go of.
Yeah, I mean, so my question was more from, see, Foxes are doing well. They're doing really well in the league this year. They'll probably qualify for the Champions League next season. Although they haven't been able to do that consistently, but then I think the team they are building, and they are also sort of rebuilding the entire team, right? And if they do that, and if they qualify, if they do well, if they can do it season after season, he doesn't have to leave, right? And what is the difference between him and Chelsea and United? If they're all qualifying for the Champions League, why does he have to shift? Right?
See,
the other thing comes in from a perspective of the national team. His place is fixed. Right? So I mean, I don't see.
See, the very obnoxious answer to this amazing question is legacy. And the problem with that answer also is, I think Leicester has won Premier League recently than Manchester United.
Yeah.
So
Then he might come to Chelsea because even after that. So
yeah.
But let's see. I mean, I think again, like we spoke about yesterday, Chelsea need him probably a little more than United does. With the formation Lampard plays. But let's see, where does he go? We still have almost a month left for the transfer window to close. So,
but I think Leicester would milk this as much as possible because they want to just.
They're asking for more than 60 million, right? So that's a pretty high price for a left back.
They do that a lot, right?
And
that's what happened
even
with
for
Maguire,
right? They got 80 million, right? So it's difficult, but let's hope he moves.
Oh yeah,
we're not gonna say where, but let's hope he moves.
He moves. Fill in the blanks, guys.
Alright, let's go to the Champions League.
तो एक चीज बता कितना पैसा दिया है PSG कितना पैसा दिया they're through dude they are directly going to the final just they're through
but Atlanta are playing really well
see they are playing good but
if they win
yeah correct
my thing is if they win right that's gonna be an amazing thing but I think it's comparatively it's an easier game for PSG.
Yeah, look at it. Like the most difficult games are in the bottom half, where probably the bottom half team, which would play quarterfinal, semi-final, final would be the easiest game.
Yeah,
final would be the easiest game there.
Yeah. Napoli, Barcelona, they drew at Naples.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a good game. Napoli is playing well, I guess, and Barcelona.
So just let me correct me if I'm wrong. So Real Madrid City will happen.
Yeah.
Whoever wins will play against either Lyon or Juventus. Whoever wins from that game wins against Chelsea, Barcelona. Right? Correct. So look at that. Like, isn't that difficult? But then see, end of the day, what I'm trying to like when I saw this draw coming up, and I seriously thought, see, it's unfair for say Real Madrid City game. So that was anyways going to happen. They play against Juventus early on, which is if Juventus comes in. So see, if you remember in the last podcast, they were saying, what if Man City wins Champions League? Now the entire scene is so bleak. I don't think so. They can even go past Juventus or something like that. And then once that happens, then you play against either a Barcelona or a City or a Bayern.
Or Bayern. Let's not talk about Chelsea.
Yeah, correct.
Let's not talk about it. Unless.
So if any of these 4, 5, 6 teams right go through, finals will be the easiest game for them. Yeah. And it's not 2 leg, right? It's just knockout. Yeah, it's basically a small tournament.
Yeah.
Right? The small 2-3 day tournament. So it's going to be really difficult for the teams to cope up.
See, although Real Madrid lost to City in the first leg, I really want them to qualify, and I really want Juventus to qualify for the Atletico Leipzig. I think it's a very good. It's going to be a very shoulder to shoulder competition. It's going to be a good one. Atletico, of course.
See, I don't know what is going to be the best part with Atletico now. Atletico now, they are famous for or infamous for playing good against amazing teams, right?
Yeah.
And because nobody gives them a chance. Now they have a chance. Now they have a chance. Now they are basically the prime contender to win Champions League.
They just
Now what
knocked out
happens?
the champions.
Now what happens?
An
Let's see.
amazing. But it's gonna be great. Although it's gonna be very different from what we have seen. So it's just gonna be who's better on the day. You know,
And
you
yeah,
never know
it's
what
just a
if
knockout.
Atlanta might go ahead and lift the trophy. You never know.
In that case, City has a good chance. They have an amazing bench.
Yeah, and I have another thing to bring here. Right, Atlanta have been playing in the Italian league now. PSG, however, they haven't played a single game, so this will be their first game after the pandemic. They just won the league, so you know that sort of changes the sort of the dynamic there. So that might be difficult, even Lyon for that matter. I mean, although Juventus, it's going to be difficult, but then still they haven't played, right? And Juventus is
I really think that the team which wins from the first two blocks wins the Champions League. I don't think so. Paris or Atletico, or even if they come to the final, they.
What about Bayern? You're discounting Bayern here.
No, I'm not.
They're playing really well, especially under the new coach Hansi Flick. So
the problem with Bayern right now is just that they have not been performing on a bigger stage in Champions League for past 6 years.
Yeah, I think last they won was 2013.
And I think they were the only. Okay, so the fact is, none of the teams are actually performing from the past 6 years except Liverpool winning it last time and Barcelona.
Real Madrid the past 3 years, and Barcelona again struggling.
Yeah.
Right, Real Madrid is not particularly playing great. They have got 4 penalties in the last 4 games. That is in the La Liga.
Yeah.
So.
खरीद तो पूरा लिया
I mean, VAR जब तक अगर खरीद नहीं लिया है, I don't know, अगर चैंपियंस लीग का VAR अलग है, so
तब तो
you have to pay some money.
Yes.
That becomes difficult for them, and they already lost the first leg. So, and then City के पास कम पैसा नहीं, they can also buy. Yeah, so that's gonna be a battle of the richest.
Yeah, I feel that the team which wins from I strongly feel that because the team which wins from the Real City wala block and Napoli Barcelona block, right, they would end up winning Champions League because that will be the easiest game for them will be the finals. Yeah, it's going to be the easiest game.
Yeah, let's see. You want to look at the
my side of the story.
What is it called?
It's called the ugly sister.
Garibo ka Champions League.
Or the ugly sister to Champions League. Here it is. Oh, and itna paisa diya na Man U isme.
Yeah, see, look at that. I mean, I think the only strong team they might face next is either Roma or Sevilla or Wolves.
Or Wolves, yeah.
अगर वो निकाल लिया.
And then जीत गया.
पहले तो लेकिन अभी इनको ये निकाला. I mean, they won 5-1 against
वो हो गया. So
LASK.
And I think the difficult game would be Wolves or
Roma or Sevilla.
Yeah.
Sevilla are the big name in the Europa League.
Yeah, we lost against them. 2-3 years back. Yeah. We lost against them.
So it's gonna be difficult. I don't know. Wolves. Roma is not gonna be easy. Wolves is not gonna be a very easy task.
No, so the thing with Wolves again is the same thing we discussed earlier, right? They are not playing that well post-pandemic.
And I think the other thing here also is nobody is playing at their home ground.
Yeah, correct.
It's all gonna happen in Lisbon. So Lisbon is where Europa League. I don't know.
Champions is gonna happen in Portugal.
I don't know where, but it's gonna be a neutral venue wherever it happens. So
it's going to be. See, the thing is, it's good for Man U because the semi-final will be the most difficult game, and then again entering to final. Let's see how it goes.
But final again, then you have a chance to
either
come
Inter
up against a team like Inter or Leverkusen or Wolfsburg or
See, again, Inter is playing really bad now.
Yeah.
I think Leverkusen would easily win and probably will face Leverkusen in the final. So let's see.
Yeah.
That's how it's gonna be. I think we'll face Kai Havertz there.
So you'll know how it's gonna be next season, right?
So with this, guys, we are gonna wrap up our podcast.
Please let us know what your thoughts are. I mean, we really want to, get to know what you guys like, what what we can cover apart from this. Um, is there anything else that you would like to see? Please let us know in the comments below, and please like
Share and
and
subscribe,
subscribe.
and also follow us on Facebook.
Please.
We go with the same name, Basic Sensei, and Instagram, and we have also Twitter.
The link is in the description. Please do that, and we want at least 1,000 followers.
Yeah, correct. Thank you,
At
Karthik.
least. Thanks.
Okay, see you guys. Bye bye. Next week.